Okay, hi, good evening. Can you hear me? Just give me a quick yes in the chat window if you can hear me.
Good evening, Ratnesh.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ratnesh.
Good evening.
Okay, so let's jump into the session straight away. Okay, before that, let's see how are you feeling? So anybody wants to put in chat window, how are you feeling right now? And how are your feelings about feelings? And yes, if you have any questions about feelings. So yeah, let's start with that and then we'll jump into the session. Also, if anybody tried anything in terms of, in terms of acknowledging feeling or expressing feelings, and if you want to share that. Yeah. So multiple things I'm saying. One is, how are you feeling? Feeling good is not a feeling. Meghna has given a whole list. Also, if anybody has a thought or a question or an experience to share related to feeling session, or a thought to share. So let's connect back to the previous session. Let's spend the first few minutes relating to the previous session. So any thoughts, questions, experiences, anybody tried anything? Yeah, no thoughts, no questions. That means clear. Sorry.
Yes, I did. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I did try listening to my daughter. She was
Can you
just
switch on video?
Yeah, I just tried, listening to my daughter. It was difficult actually, to not to judge and not to conclude anything. So, but I was making an effort from myself, from inside, that I should not do it. I should not do it. It was difficult, but maybe over a period of time, I think I'll be able to do it. But I think it's a good start.
Okay, great. You were consciously competent. You remember that?
Yeah.
It'll take some time to become unconsciously competent.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Hi, Ratnesh. Violet here.
Yeah. So most of you can keep the video on so that when you speak, your video automatically comes up.
Yeah, hi. I in fact, from the past few days, I was consciously trying not to, trying to understand things from feelings of children without overreacting. And I tried to stay calm. I was finding it too tough to stay calm, especially when my kids are not listening and, they want me to just keep repeating. But I was just calm. I was finding it very difficult to do it. But it was a try. It was a good try for me.
Okay. Okay.
And
Just
one thing what
one.
we did
Yeah.
was
Sorry.
one
Go
thing
ahead.
what we did was yeah one thing what we did this time was that we made a list, all of us, of why I actually get annoyed and why do I repeat things.
Mm-hmm.
So we all four of us sat down and we made a list as to what they need to do on a regular basis on their own, and why is that I have to keep prompting and telling them why they have to do it. So it was that even all the daily rituals of brushing, bathing, and do this, do that, everything was noted down by the children themselves.
Okay.
But again I saw that the next day it was the same, like it was like I had to keep reminding them, do you all remember the list? They said yes mama, and it was a little difficult. I think it takes quite a lot of it's an effort from both the ends is what I felt like. Even at the opposite end, uh, it's not only the children, even the adults need to understand. At times I was tending to get irritated with my husband sometimes when he was not understanding things.
Sure.
It's
Sure.
I was finding it a little difficult though.
Okay. My only thought is you don't need to stay calm. You just need to acknowledge feelings and acknowledge your feelings also. So if you're feeling irritated, that's all right. It's all right to feel whatever you're feeling, isn't it? We're not trying to
Yeah,
say that we have to all be in a steady state of calmness. My goodness, we'll all be Buddhas, right? No, 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 no. But the idea is to see how I can connect with the other person's feeling and also connect with my own feelings. If I'm
true, true.
connecting to both the feelings, let's see what happens. Yeah. So
Yes,
don't
true.
stay calm. Please don't stay calm. That's not a good state of mind.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Ramesh.
Okay. Anybody else wants to share anything from last sessions? Any questions, doubts, any eureka experiences or horrible experiences or whatever? So I guess I'm just repeating the whole idea of the last session was to experiment and experimenting by acknowledging other person's feeling rather than other things that we have been doing till now, which could be advising, lecturing, scolding, correcting, so on and so forth, giving gyan or giving sympathy. But those are some of the things we have been doing. So those are already with us. Those approaches are available to us. We are not saying they are wrong approaches. We're just saying those are there. Those approaches. Can we can we now just acknowledge feeling and that's it? Stay there and see what happens. And if required, acknowledge our own feelings, saying, "Hey, I'm feeling this, and you are feeling that, or you are feeling this, and I'm feeling this." So, yep. So that was the whole idea. So I'm hoping you will continue experimenting with it, and possibly we'll use the Google community to share our experiences more. And maybe right now we can start off with today's session, which kind of Deepali has already started. She's put in what is there on the slide. So you're supposed to put some adjectives that you use for yourself, that you use to define yourself. So Deepali is already done. Others go ahead and yeah. So you type in your own adjectives, and you can also look at what kind of adjectives others are using, and so on. Just be both sharing and observant. Sorry. So I'm not going to put them on the whiteboard. Just have a look in the chat window what others are typing. And as you see responses of different people, any thought coming to your mind? As you see this list, what thought is coming to your mind? Any thought?
The thought that at least when I was also thinking, it was a conscious effort from my end not to because adjective need not be only positive. It can mean even some negative thing about us being an adjective. But it's very interesting to see that none of us have put in any negative thought about ourselves, but all positive as adjectives. So that's quite interesting.
Okay.
Had the same observation as Anaga mentioned. So just, yeah, all
Okay.
about positive adjectives.
Mostly positive. By the way, I must mention, Anaga, you're looking amazing. You're not looking silly by any standard.
Oh, I thought I was looking very silly.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other observation? One observation is they're mostly so-called positive adjectives.
My observation was while Dipali here, while most of them were generic, there were one or two adjectives that caught attention as something I found something interesting in the person. There was that one thing that interested me. So there were generic stuff, but then there were some things that really caught my attention about that person, which said something to me, which I liked about the person.
Okay. What I want to do is I also want to share one adjective about myself, and just one moment. Yeah. Okay, this is my adjective. What do you think about it? Yeah. I hope you can see the slide. Any thoughts?
We've always used rascal in a negative connotation, but I really don't know the meaning of rascal. That's what I was thinking.
Whatever it means to you, forget the dictionary meaning. How does that matter? Whatever rascal means to you, I'm that.
Okay.
I can assure you of that.
But why are you writing this rascal?
Why not? Because I think I am.
No, but in what way? How you are thinking that you are rascal?
Okay, so you are saying I should give you some reasons or examples to prove that I am a rascal?
Yeah, we want to understand why are you writing this?
I'll come to that. I believe me, I'll give you enough proof. Rashi is laughing. Okay. Any other reactions, thoughts?
I think it's very cute. It says that you're very comfortable with yourself and okay to be called anything. Doesn't matter to you. I think you're a very open person and you love self a lot. I think it's cute. I think it's nice when someone does that about themselves because then it opens up a lot of space for the other person to feel comfortable.
Okay.
I feel I can relate with you. Some rascal in me is happy to see a rascal in you. That's what I mean.
Okay, when you're saying you can relate with me, are you also a rascal? Okay, I thought somebody else was also trying to say something.
Hi,
Hi Ratnesh, Rashi here.
Yeah,
So
Rashi.
I thought I'd look up the meaning of the word rascal, so, which is an eye opener for me. It says a mischievous or cheeky person, especially a child or man, typically used in an affectionate way. A lovable rascal is an example.
Yeah,
I
but
think
that
it
could
fits
be
you to the T.
no, but that could be the dictionary meaning. I didn't mean you to look it up, because for me, what's more important is whatever image we carry of the word rascal. So it doesn't matter what the dictionary says, isn't it?
Okay.
How does that matter? Whatever it means to you, and if it means something horrible, then it means something horrible. Okay, let me add one more aspect on the screen. So I'm not just saying that I am a rascal, I'm saying, and so are you. What do you think about it?
Well,
I'm
I
telling
would
to everybody,
say,
and not just to you. As in, I'm saying it to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm saying each one of us is a rascal. That's what I'm saying.
like I said before, though I could think of so many negative, not negative, okay, not so positive adjectives about myself, I didn't put it up there. I was only thinking about positive. But because you put it across, like how Deepali said, we are like, oh wow, yes, we can relate to you, and we have a lot more list than what we have put it up. If we can put, we'll definitely add on.
Okay.
Maybe only because I just like to add one thing. Only because we know you, Ratnesh, maybe I will take it in a positive way. If not, if it was a stranger, maybe I wouldn't have given you any weightage, or I wouldn't have thought the way Anaga or Deepali thought, being positive.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
okay. Even if you know me, you hardly know me. You know what I mean?
Okay, maybe I don't know you, but the relation what we have now, as of that, taking
Okay.
that into consideration,
Maybe.
like that.
Yeah, Ratnesh, I would like to add
Yes,
my
Meghna.
image about you. Yeah, this is Meghna.
Yeah, Meghna.
Hello. Yeah, so what I would like to add is my image about my perception about you is that you're a very nice person and I like you.
Mm-hmm.
So whether I know you, how much I know you doesn't matter. In my mind, the image about you is that you're an absolutely lovable person. So it's okay for you to call me a rascal. But if it was a person whom I dislike, I definitely wouldn't have taken it lightly or, in a friendly manner.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so let's take what you're saying. You're saying that if, okay, so for somehow me calling myself rascal and calling you rascal, you are kind of okay with, though you have yet to discover how I am a rascal. But you're saying somebody else, maybe whom you within quotes dislike, or maybe if I give you a neutral situation, let's say you are in a restaurant and you're carrying something, and you kind of fumbled and whatever, something spilled on somebody's table, and that person turns in to say, "You rascal, you can't even see where you are walking." Let's say something like that. Then what do you think about it? How do you feel? What do you think about that?
At this moment, I'm liking rascal word. I'm agree with you. I am also rascal. It is depend on the moment, situation.
So I'm giving you a situation. That's why I gave you the restaurant situation.
So at that time, we will not agree for that.
So what
And
will
we
you
will
feel at
become
that time?
angry.
How will you feel at
We
that
can
time?
become angry. We
Angry?
can become
Okay.
angry at that time.
And why are you angry?
Because the situation is like that somebody is saying rascal in the form of a means abusing word at that time.
Okay, but why are you angry?
Because when you are talking with when somebody is abusing us, then there's a matter of becoming angry.
Okay, let's take a moment. Let's take a moment, step back, and say, first of all, let's address this question: that what do I think about this statement? I am a rascal. Do you agree with it? Meaning for yourself, not for me. Forget me right now. Meaning, anyway, you will discover how I am a rascal in many different ways. But let's keep that aside. let's think about ourselves. So what do you say? Do you agree that you are a rascal, or do you disagree that you are a rascal? Let's take a little poll. So take the chat window. Say I agree. I agree or disagree. So if you say agree, that means you are a rascal, or you can type I am a rascal, or you can say no, I disagree, something like that. Okay, Anika has typed yes. Anika, can you? Yeah, okay. Anika says I'm a rascal. Okay. Oh, lots of rascals around here. Okay, we have Priya disagreeing, and Niharika disagreeing, and Violet also disagreeing. Meghna also disagreeing. So when you are saying you're disagreeing, obviously you should disagree with me. You should say, why are you saying so? I am not. So come on, Mike, fight it out with me. Now, I'm calling you a rascal, which is normally as somebody said, almost like a curse word. It's whatever the dictionary meaning, but in our, let's say, culture, rascal is a horrible word to call by, at least from most people's judgment. So if you're on the disagree group, you know, if you're on an agree group, you wouldn't mind. I'm a rascal, you're a rascal, we are both a rascal. Good. We are in the same club, the rascal club. But if you're not, if you disagree, then let's have a little whatever. So come on, Mike, challenge me. Say why you think you are not a rascal, and let's see how that goes.
Yeah, Ratnesh, I'm here.
Yeah.
I would not like it if somebody calls me a rascal.
No, I'm okay. We are not talking about somebody calling you a rascal or not. We'll come to that in just a little while. Yeah, as I said, we'll take. Yeah, no, I'm not calling you. I'm asking you, do you think you are a rascal or not? And you are saying I disagree. As in, you don't think you are a rascal. So we are discussing at that level. Forget somebody calling you. We'll come to that in just a few minutes.
Okay.
So do you agree, or you're saying I disagree? So now go ahead and tell me why you yourself think that you are not a rascal.
Normally these phrases, like these words which we use, rascal, is I don't use such words. So if somebody
that doesn't matter. Whether you use a word or doesn't matter. Whether you are or not, that is what matters. So are you a rascal or not?
No, I don't think I'm a rascal.
And why do you say so?
Because for me, that very term itself, I feel is inappropriate to use. And I don't like...
Okay, inappropriate to use is a different thing. Even if something is inappropriate to say it out, but as somebody said, so inside you, are you a rascal or not?
I don't know. I didn't think about it.
Yeah, so I'm asking you to think about it now. It's important. It's important for us to think whether inside us we are a rascal or not. Yeah, others who are disagreeing, meaning you may disagree, others calling you rascal. That's okay, especially in public and all that. We'll come to that in a little while. But inside you, as Bhavna put it, are you a rascal or not? What do you think about yourself? You put so many adjectives. Are you okay adding comma and adding a rascal word to that, to your list? So people who have disagreed, come on, challenge me.
Ratnesh, so what according to you is a rascal?
No, whatever is according to you. I'm not even defining it.
No, then I would say I'm not.
You're not, okay. And why you are not? Let's debate it a little.
Okay, so this is again from what I understand about what a rascal means.
Sure.
So I'm not a dishonest person, or I'm not mischievous. I
think I don't cause inconvenience to others.
So pause. So let's take these three words: dishonest, inconvenience to others, and mischief. So have
So
you
this
have
is
you
my
never
rough
done any of
understanding
these?
of.
Yeah. So let's say these are three characteristics of a rascal. Have you never caused inconvenience to others? Have you never been dishonest? Have you never uh, what was the third one you used? Sorry, I'm forgetting.
Mischievous.
Mischievous. Have you never been mischievous?
Consciously, I think I've never.
No, consciously or unconsciously. We are not talking about fainted version of Niharika. No conscious, unconscious, subconscious. You have done some. You are saying causing inconvenience. Have you caused inconvenience? Have you been dishonest at some point? Have you been mischievous at some point?
Yeah.
Then you are a rascal. Welcome to the club.
So at some, but that does not define me, right? Because it is like at some point I might have done. I may have done something.
But everything
I
is
may
at
have
some
done many
point.
things.
No, everything is at some point. If at some point you have been, that means you are, isn't it? No? For example, let me go back to your list. What were some of your adjectives? Can you just say out one or two of your adjectives?
Hardworking.
No. Simple, disciplined, patient, frank.
Okay. So are you right now, let's say, being disciplined?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. No,
like today, I came little late. I was 2
yeah,
minutes
see, there
late.
you go. Yeah, you're going disciplined, girl. See, so you know what I mean? So what I mean to say is, just because at some point of time you were indisciplined, which was 10 minutes back, doesn't mean that you become disciplined or indisciplined. At that moment you were indisciplined. Maybe at this moment, maybe you are either neither disciplined or undisciplined, or maybe you are disciplined right now, or maybe a minute later you may do something which is undisciplined. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Does that happen like that?
Yeah, possible.
So how do you define yourself as disciplined? That means that word doesn't hold true for you, because 5 minutes, 10 minutes back you were not disciplined. There you go. In the same way, when just because you haven't done anything rascally in the last let's say 24 hours, doesn't mean that you are not rascal. Even if once you have done it, you are a rascal. If a thief has stolen once, he can't say, I've only stolen once. Or a murderer can't say, oh, I've only murdered once. Why do you call me murderer? I mean, unless I murder every day, don't call me murderer. What I'm trying to say is you are a rascal. Because sometimes you could be causing inconvenience to others. Sometimes you could be mischievous. Sometimes. I'm not saying all of us are rascal all the time. No.
So it does not define me, right? Because
so just as much as
said, I'm just saying the same thing.
Which means you are a rascal. So one way is to say it doesn't define me, but then none of these words should define you, because then why do you say you are disciplined?
Correct.
You should say I take my adjectives back.
Yeah, so just this I agree. But just as you said that discipline does not define me, because I may not be disciplined at every moment. In the same way, rascal would not define me, because I'm not a rascal. I might be a rascal sometimes.
So what defines you?
This way it looks like either it should be everything or nothing.
Beautiful. Isn't it? And by that definition, you are a rascal. Welcome to the club. Because you're a rascal sometimes, and you are not a rascal sometimes, and you are a sweet person sometimes, and you are not so sweet sometimes, and you are sensitive sometimes, and you are not so sensitive sometimes. And what else? You are angry sometimes, you're not so angry sometimes. You are simple sometimes, you're complex sometimes. I'm not remembering which other adjectives you use. Patient you use? You're patient sometimes. Have you ever been impatient?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the last 24 hours, 40 hours, 64 hours.
Yes.
Then sometimes you are patient and sometimes you are impatient. So as you rightly said, you can either say all of these define me or none of these define me.
Okay.
And if you choose to say that, yes, discipline defines me, then I would say, why not rascal also defining me, as in you? Why not every adjective in this world defining me? Because I am sometime or the other that adjective. And at that moment, that adjective defines me. At that moment. Or maybe it doesn't define me at all. As you said, maybe nothing defines me.
Okay.
And if nothing defines me, I am none of these.
So, are you saying it's important to be defined like this, or it's
I don't
unimportant?
know. You tell me.
I don't think it's important.
I just want to throw this to you. See how it goes. Just say it aloud. I am a rascal. See how does it feel? Just to acknowledge, yes, I've been rascal sometimes. So a little bit of me is rascal, even if it is 0.00001%. How does it matter? Just say it aloud. Just try it out. Just see how does it feel.
I'm a rascal. I'm a rascal. I'm a rascal.
I'm a rascal.
I'm a rascal.
I'm a
It's very
Yeah.
No,
Every
actually, I
rascal.
Prashant, I was about to
Really
say
a
that.
rascal.
Rascala.
Rascala. Yeah, that's the real color of rascala.
I think in a way it's at least I was feeling a little lighter, kind. Yeah.
I am a rascal. Yay!
Yay. Congrats.
In fun and masti, everybody is rascal.
No, I'm not
When
talking
we
about
are
in
in
fun and
love,
musty.
when we
I
are
can't be more
affectionate, then
serious. I can't be more serious in this whole program as compared to this moment.
Yeah, she's just being politically right.
Which I don't know what it is. I don't know what is politically right. There is only one.
No. She was saying in fun and musty, just don't get offended, but I'll say this statement. She's kind of being, it's okay to slap around. We gave it permission.
Not at all. You are a rascal. I can prove to anybody and everybody.
Rajneesh.
Yeah, Shayur.
Yeah, hearing this statement, I am this. I don't know, I'm just looking at it. I also consider myself a rascal, but I want to also consider, like, rather than saying I am this as like an absolute definition, almost like a belief, what seems more accurate for me is to say I do rascal things sometimes, or rascal at things.
Yeah.
I have rascal tendencies at times.
Right.
So it seems to give a more accurate reflection. So, because when I'm hearing Niharika as well, she's battling between defining herself absolutely as a rascal, as a label.
But she's also realizing that by acknowledging I'm, let's say, a million things, which I'm totally with you, Cheryl, that I actually do things in a million ways. So you're trying to say it's not really me who is rascal, it's actually my behavior that could be of different kinds. And which is why she also said that I could either be all of these or I could be none of these. So I could be million images or I could just be no image. Yeah. Which is where.
Yeah, and I think that's.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's something that I found is very important working with children, is that I don't label them as, bad or good or whatever by their action or what they say, but I say you did a good deed or you did a bad deed in simple
but
terms.
sure, I'll wait little and come to kids little later, maybe by in another hour's time. Well, let's first look at ourselves, because to me, we will talk about children later. I mean, it has to first begin with me. Unless if I think I'm this image, then what happens to me as compared to when I think of myself as not one image or one set of images like some of the adjectives, but maybe million images, which another way of saying infinite images or no image. So let's forget the kids for a while. Let's just think here, what happens to me?
That's good.
Yeah, and I'm inviting others to share. What do you think? What do you think about this thought that, hey, I am not 1, 2, 3, 4 images, but I am infinite or million images or maybe no image, because nothing defines me. I'm, let's say, constantly changing. Yeah, like I was giving the example, like how Niharika could be caring or uncaring, or I can be caring sometimes uncaring, sometimes responsible, sometimes irresponsible, and so on. Meaning, these are just few. You all did that exercise of sometimes, never, or always. And I'm assuming that would have thrown up some interesting thought that, hey, I am sometimes this and sometimes that, which means who am I? Maybe all of them, or maybe none of them. In some way, Shayur, for me to start understanding that I'm none of them, has to start with realizing I'm all of them. First, when I realize that I'm all of them, all those goddamn adjectives that everybody has invented, then I realize that I'm none of them. And then I realize it's only my behavior which keeps changing from a minute to minute.
Hi, Ratnashrika here.
Yeah.
It is really nice to realize that you can be everything at the same time, nothing. So that I don't have to all the time. For example, if at all I have told, I have given my this thing as helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to be helpful. Sometimes I am not helpful. I know that. But never ever realized, only after you and Niharika talked about the rascal thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is nice to know that you can be, you don't have to protect your image.
Yes. Awesome. So as somebody is saying, Rashi is saying, I'm just free. Because I don't have to now, catch a bus. I like this analogy of, me wanting a certain image and trying to kind of run behind it and say, hey, that's the bus I need to catch, the helpful bus or the smart bus or the intelligent bus or whatever bus you want to. I don't know why I like that visual analogy of me running behind a bus and say, I need to become this.
Sorry, Ratnesh, when you said, Raga here, when you said running behind the bus, all I could think about is you as Kareena Kapoor in Jab We Met.
We feel lighter actually.
Mm-hmm.
I need not be caring all the time. So it feels very nice actually. You can be yourself. You can display any negative image of yours, irrespective of the situation or irrespective of people around you.
Okay, interesting you use the word negative image. Okay, so we'll come to that also in a little while. I just want to jump on back to our example situation. That whatever restaurant situation, somebody calling you a rascal and you getting angry And I'm asking, why are you getting angry? If you get angry or hurt or whatever, I don't know what you get when somebody calls you rascal, whether you know it's a known somebody or an unknown somebody. How does that matter? It's a colleague, your boss, your junior, your wife, your husband, your whatever, neighbor, or somebody in a restaurant. If they call you a rascal, what do you feel? And if you feel what you feel, why do you feel? Would somebody like to come on the mic?
This is Rashi, Ratnesh.
Yeah,
Maybe
Rashi.
it clashes with our idea or image that we have made for ourselves. Maybe it clashes with it, and since it has negative connotations, and we have this whole thing of being good. We are taught from a very young age that, you know, be a good girl or be a good boy. So maybe that is what is threatened. So we can't take it.
Yeah, that is threatened, yes.
My ego is hurt.
Okay, what is this ego? Can you elaborate? I don't know what is ego.
How dare somebody calls me a rascal?
Yeah, so what's this ego? What's this?
Self-esteem.
No, don't get lost in these terms. So I don't know what is self-esteem. So I don't know what is ego. You know, I would have actually easily called this session as rascal session, but unfortunately nobody would have signed up for Jagriti. So I had to choose a nice term. So I thought I'll call it self-esteem. Then people will join Jagriti. So that's all a marketing gimmick. It's all about being a rascal today. So why are you hurt when somebody calls you rascal? Forget the term ego, self-esteem. All these are terms. I don't know what they mean. Let's just think, why am I hurt? Why am I getting angry when somebody calls me angry, a rascal, or anything, me idiot? That is, rascal is just one example.
I think we can't take anybody pointing a finger at us.
Why? Why when somebody calls you a rascal, you don't like it?
Yeah, I want to be liked. I want to be accepted.
Also, I think maybe I don't like others to see my shortcomings, or
why? Well, you have shortcomings. Just now you said I'm also a rascal. Then what's the problem?
I am okay if somebody calls me a rascal, but I'm just thinking as to why do sometimes react. Like if a known person calls me a rascal, I think I won't react. I'll be okay, I'll accept. But like how you said in a restaurant, if some other person,
yeah, then why are you getting upset about it?
That what does he know about me to call me a rascal?
What? But you are a rascal.
Yeah.
Why are you not okay with him calling you one of your million names? You know, in Hindi mythology we have million names for gods. Come on, now I'm giving you million names for yourself. So that person is just merely using one of your names. If you care to be called a rascal.
I want to share a little anecdote here. Okay?
Yeah.
Of late, my daughter, every time I tend to label her way like this, you're being lazy or being silly, or so she'll say thank you and walk away. And the whole conflict, the whole hurt that I wanted to pass never reaches her. You know, she become very, very matter of fact about it. She's like, thank you, same to you, and she'll walk. So I guess we have to have that attitude towards most people nowadays.
Well, I don't know if in a restaurant you were to say, if he calls you rascal and you turn around and say same to you, I know you will be in trouble.
That would just end the conversation. The thank you is very important. It's impactful when you say thank you. They don't know what to do after that.
Sorry, come again.
I would say that I would maybe feel offended if somebody is calling me something like that.
You would be offended. Is that what you said?
Maybe because I mean, I am not, maybe say, for example, I had a fight. And,
Okay, Priya, video on. Let's see you and then talk to you.
maybe I've had a fight, but then that doesn't define me as a rascal. I mean, I feel if that doesn't define me, if I am not a rascal at that point of time, then why is a person calling me like that? Maybe I would.
So you're realizing what is happening. Okay, you think you are not a rascal, and then that person is calling a rascal, and then you are feeling upset. Is that equation kind of clear? Does it make sense? Right?
Yeah, and I don't have any attribute of a rascal, then how can I let the other person call me like that? I mean, won't I feel offended?
That's what I'm saying. First of all, if I have an image that I'm not a rascal, okay, and then somebody does something, okay, or calls me something, and then I'm offended. What does this mean? First of all, so here is the chain. Let me type it out on the screen. Just give me a moment. Let me type this out. So okay, right, somebody calls me rascal, and that leads to me, what am I doing inside me? I'm denying that I'm not that, and that leads to me, let's say, being angry, isn't it? Now I'm saying, let me just give you another option available. Let's say somebody calls me rascal. I know I can be rascal in many different ways, so I accept it. And what there's no feelings, as in there's, let's say, peace. Now, which one would you like?
I mean, see, if you accept it, I mean, like anyways, our peace of mind is important. But if you're accepting something that you're not at maybe that point of time, so it makes sense.
Well, as I think Shayur also emphasized, I am not anything at any point of time. I am nothing. I have no image about myself. And because I have no image about myself, if somebody calls me rascal, how does it matter? Because I know that I am rascal also, and I know that I am not a rascal also. You know what I mean? It's neither, in a way, or nothing. And if it's nothing, then there is acceptance. So let's start maybe from zero again. So Priya, are you a rascal? Or you are in the disagree list. So do you still disagree, or do you kind of agree, or do you disagree? And it's all right to disagree. In fact, it's great that you disagree.
I mean, I would call myself as a rascal.
Which means, what I'm trying to say is, do you agree that you are whatever, a rascal and angry person and a sweet person and a sensitive person and an insensitive person and an organized person and a disorganized person and so on, the million images that we can have?
Yes, I mean, I would define myself in a lot of those parameters.
So almost every adjective that exists would possibly add to your, let's say, biodata. Yeah, will
Maybe
it?
at some point of time, yes.
Sorry?
Maybe at some point of time, yes.
Yeah, see, biodata is what? When you type your biodata, you type all your experiences, right? I've worked in this company for 3 years, this company for 1 year, this is, I won a football match, and I won this, and I won that. So if I am really writing a true biodata of myself, I would say I was a rascal, I was not a rascal, I was sensitive, I was not sensitive, I was this, I was that, I was an idiot, I was a smart guy, I was intelligent, I was dumb, I was careless, I was careful. The list will go on. Possibly we'll run out of paper or adjectives, but the list goes on. And what does that mean? Does it in some way to you mean, yes, I am a rascal. That's one little tiny part of me. And I don't have to hold on to it because it's not that I'm all the time that. So I don't have to hold on to anything for that matter. And if you don't hold on to, yeah, just one moment. And if you don't hold on to anything, then when somebody calls you rascal, why would that offend you? Because it's not about defending somebody. When do we get offended? When we defend something. When I try to defend an image of mine, when I have an image that I'm not a rascal, then when somebody calls me rascal, oh, I've got something to defend. But when I, it's let's put it this way: if I throw a stone at you, what will you do, Priya? Priya, you there? If I throw a stone at you, what will you do?
I would maybe tell you not to do it.
Oh, no. Before that, I have thrown a stone. It's coming at you. Now what will you do?
I'll catch it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'll duck.
Yeah, most of us will duck. Yes, if you can catch it, great. Awesome. Yeah. Assuming that most of us, the instant reaction is to duck it.
Maybe to throw it back on.
Sorry?
Or maybe I would just say, hey, what are you doing?
No, that is afterwards. Afterwards, you can call me and ask, like I'm sure you will say. But at that moment when I throw you a stone, most probably you will duck, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And let's say if there is a very important something glass, something behind you, then will you duck? Then you will try to catch it.
Yes.
Because you have to defend something. That shouldn't break, you know what I mean? That image of mine shouldn't break. So even if I get hurt, let me catch this stone. Even if it breaks my whatever.
But when somebody is saying something derogatory to me, which I am not, so
Why can't you just duck it? Why can't you just duck? Why can't you just let it go? And the reason why some of us are not able to let it go is because we have something to defend. Then we catch it, and in that either in that whole process we either get hurt or we throw it back at the person and says, "How dare you call me rascal? You are a bigger rascal than me." Whatever.
But isn't that indicating that we are giving the power to the other person to call us anything that they want?
Well, they anyway have the power to call whatever they want, don't they? But the funny thing is, by defending your image, you are giving them the power to hurt you. You are giving them a power to make you angry or upset or hurt, or even you are giving them the power to make you feel good. If they call you, instead of rascal, if they call you beautiful, how do you feel?
Nice.
Why?
Because I see it as a positive attribute.
Whatever. Why do you feel? So that means you are giving people to make you feel whatever they want to make you feel. So when they call you rascal, you feel hurt. When they call you beautiful, you feel nice. What is happening, Priya? Others seems to be controlling you.
Yes, understood.
Priya, you are under my control, or whoever you are interacting with. Right now, I'm the one interacting with you. You're a rascal, Priya. Now, come on, feel upset. And if I say you're beautiful, Priya, now you feel nice. So see, I'm controlling you. And then we start saying I'm emotional. But what are we doing here? What if we say, hey, I have nothing. I have no such image of myself, which means that when somebody throws something at me, I don't need to receive it because I am not that. So it doesn't matter. So if somebody calls, but except I don't mean to say I need to accept that I'm a rascal. No, no, no. I just need to accept that that's the word the other person is using. In fact, if somebody is calling me rascal, so Priya, if somebody is calling me rascal, what is the other person going through?
He's having a negative self-image about himself also.
But what's the other person going through right now? If somebody is calling you a rascal, what is the other person going through?
Angry?
Yes. So what is he going through? A feeling. And if you connect to the previous session, instead of defending our own rascalness, can we not acknowledge his feeling? But you know, we can't acknowledge the feeling because we are so busy defending our own image. Where is the time to acknowledge the other person's feeling? So there are two options. When the person calls you rascal, you can deny it, defend it, get angry, get upset, get hurt, or you may say, ah, I could be rascal. How does that matter? And when you say that, and when you're peaceful, you're in a position to acknowledge, and you can say, you're really upset with whatever happened. Then I'm able to see the other person's feeling because I am not worrying about my own image because I have none. So you decide. I'm not trying to profess here anything. I'm just saying that, hey, all of us are rascals. All of us are beautiful people. All of us are all of those images. Now, if we want, we can understand this and say, hey, that means I am nothing. None of those images. That means images don't need to define me. That means I am maybe whatever, nothing in a way. And when I am nothing, maybe a lot of times I don't need to feel anything. I can just be at peace in a way, neutral, let me call it, not even at peace, neutral. Because how does it matter if somebody calls or somebody thinks about me? Even if he doesn't call me a rascal, if he thinks about me as a rascal, I sense that, and then I feel angry, then I feel upset, and then I feel whole day is down the drain. Why I keep thinking, how can you think like that? How can she think like that? Oh, no, that's a choice. Remember, we talked about we are responsible for our feelings, but realize a lot of time, and I'm not saying every time, but a lot of times our feelings are attached to our images, and not just negative images, positive images also. Or if you allow me to say, there aren't any negative or positive images. That's something again we have cooked up. We think rascal is negative. We think beautiful is positive. But those are just words. We have the image about them. Let me take a pause here. Let's see if Priya's thoughts, questions. Somebody to box me right now on my nose.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, no boxing. Yeah, I find for myself, one of the most subtle things that I see operating inside me is this very deep conscious thing about thinking, what are other people thinking of me? You know, it shapes the way, I behave in public, or what I wear, or, there's just this constant thing of, okay, how are other people perceiving me? And I see that opens up so much. Well, you're giving everybody the stones to throw at you. Then you're giving them I'm giving them the power. And even if it's a positive image, sometimes I notice if someone compliments me on what I'm wearing or something, I sometimes laugh even when they say it, because I'm like,
that's not even me. But I feel so good when you say it. And I think you're a compliment. Like, I feel good because my dress looks nice, and it's this whole game of positive image and negative image that I can see that when I give power to others. And when I don't, and I just be like, as you say, I'm this sometimes or I'm that sometimes. I'm not my dress, I'm not my, I'm just me, and I'm everything, which means I'm nothing really. Then there's a lightness, I'm not trying to be anyone, and I'm accepting whatever anyone says about me or thinks. It doesn't matter. And yeah, there's peace.
And Shayur, when I was a little boy, I was supposed to be good. And how are you supposed to be good? So when you go to somebody's house, you're supposed to only take one samosa and eat one samosa. You're supposed to be a good boy. But I didn't want to be a good boy. Who wanted to be a good boy? Not me. I wanted more samosas or more gulab jamuns. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be good. Who cared a hoot about being good? I wanted to be bad as I can be. Because I wanted the samosas and the gulab jamuns. And you won't believe it. I still want all the samosas and all the gulab jamuns. And I don't want to be good at all. What do you say, guys?
Add one thing. A lot of energy is wasted.
Okay, I thought you will add a list. Sorry. I thought you will add something to gulab jamuns and samosa. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel we waste a lot of energy doing this, trying to maintain our image. So the way once I realized that there's nothing, if someone's throwing a stone at you, you don't need to catch it, you don't need to throw it back, just duck. It makes a lot of sense. It makes me more peaceful. I can focus my energy somewhere else.
And Bhavna, you're saying wasting a lot of energy. I would say I have seen people wasting a lifetime just trying to catch a bus called whatever. All kinds of buses, constantly, whole of life, trying to be something, trying to show to the world, trying to show to even themselves, I am this. I need to wear pericardia. Why? Oh, because I need to be seen as something, even if I don't have the budget. You know what I mean? So it's not just, meaning if it was just wasting some time, it's okay, but people wasting lifetime, people wasting relationships, and a lot of other things, meaning apart from wasting time. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Ratnesh, my internet dropped when you were saying something about ice cream or something. Can you just repeat that last?
Oh, I was saying you need to send me a lot of ice creams.
Okay.
No, nothing. We were just saying that. Yeah, I think we're still there. We're still there. That we don't need to be good. We don't need to be bad. We don't need to forego an ice cream just because we need to be projected good.
Okay, good. Thank you.
What I'm trying to emphasize, it's not about negative or positive. Again, we divided feelings into negative, positive. Now we're dividing adjectives into negative and positive. But are they really? Aren't we all of them? Then how can they be negative and positive? It's like one of the analogies that I like giving, which I obviously read somewhere, is of a river. That I'm like a river. I'm all the time flowing. When you look at a river, you say that's the river, but the water that you looked at has already flown by. But you still call it the river, but the water keeps flowing away. In the same way, when you look at somebody, including yourself, you're looking at a flowing river. That moment has passed, that behavior has passed, that adjective has passed. Now there is new water in place of that, a new moment to live. So the river isn't one water. It's a constantly flowing thing or whatever, concept. In much the same way, we are a constantly changing, flowing concept. mean, there's this famous story of Buddha who somebody, in one of Buddha's evening prayer meetings, stood up and started abusing Buddha in all possible different ways. And then he walked off. And then when he comes next day, Buddha embraces him. And this guy's like shocked. He says, I was abusing you last evening and you are embracing me. He said, yeah, but you were a different person yesterday. Today you are a different person. And I'm glad to meet this person. Isn't that amazing? In any case, his shouting those abuses didn't stick on to Buddha. He didn't need to, I don't need to catch it and keep it deep inside me. Yeah, your thoughts, questions?
I agree on your philosophy of not trying to catch the bus. Because even personally, it's happened many times that I'm so busy trying to be a role model or trying to be this and trying to be that we actually stop living our lives. We are just busy trying to become something.
Okay.
So some good pointers that why. I mean, I don't have to prove myself or become something.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's a choice that people are making. If they're trying to prove, if they're trying to catch a bus, as I call it.
So, Ratnesh, here, what are we? So, is it not possible to have some goals and be the way whatever you have discussed right now? Because running after something is like you have something, some goal in front of you, and you want to achieve it.
So what do you want to achieve? You want to achieve being a disciplined person, or you want to achieve whatever, some goal, as in a physical goal, let's say making a house. So to me, I want to build a building, or let's say bake a cake.
Yeah, something like that. Say, let's take the example of I want to build a house.
No, let's take an example that you want to bake a nice cake and courier to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds much tastier. And courier to me. or make some nice mint chocolates and send it across to me. That's a good objective.
Okay.
Yeah, house and all, who cares? Okay, now you have a goal like that. Now, is that a good goal?
So we are getting some more people here, right? So as long as I think we can keep the goal simple, that I want to bake a cake, say for myself, because when I say I have to courier it to someone, it would become a little more complex.
No, let's take it. Let's take it. Not someone, me. Don't send it to someone. Send it to me. Right? Okay. So let's have a clear objective. Your goal is to bake a cake and send it to me. A tasty cake, let's say. Let's call it a tasty cake. Now let's see how this works. This is beautiful. This example is awesome. So go ahead. Now tell me what happens. Is there a problem anywhere?
That tasty cake is what is like it has kind of. I actually wanted to bring up the point about, okay, say let's take the cake itself. So now I begin to bake the cake in the way I know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll courier it to you. It is as simple as that, right?
Yes.
I had something in front of, I had a goal that I have to bake a cake for you and send it to you.
But did you also had a goal of being a good cook? That's where the problem is.
Yeah. So, so it is possible to have goals, and at the same time, not try to prove something.
Right. So when I'm talking about catching a bus, I'm not talking about achieving things. Goals in terms of achieving things is fine. But do you want to prove, or even to yourself, forget to me, but to yourself or to the whole world or whichever, that you are a good cook. If you're trying to catch that bus of a good cook, then you'll have a lot of tension. What if Ratnesh doesn't like it? What if Ratnesh posts on Facebook a photograph of it saying, what a horrible cake this girl is baking. Niharika is such a horrible cook. Now, it's all attention. And then let's say you click a photograph and then you want people to put a thumbs up on your Facebook thing that, oh wow, you're a great cook and awesome. Now,
yes,
that's where the
I would
problem
want
happens.
people to.
Why?
Yeah, okay.
Why? That's where the problem is.
Okay.
That's where you're running behind a bus. I've seen people logging in Facebook every 10 minutes trying to see how many thumbs ups have come to your whatever cake or whatever XYZ. Why? What's all this anxiety about? Why? As you very rightly said in the first place, you wanted to bake a cake for me and you baked it and you sent it. Great. If I like it, great. If I don't like it, great. I mean, what's so wrong or right about it? If suppose it didn't turn out good and suppose I didn't like it, so what? You can bake another one. You can say, oh, Ratnesh, that day I was busy with something, or one of those days, 50% chance. Sometimes my cake comes good, sometimes my cake comes bad. Now that was your luck. Live with your luck, man. Whatever. You can say anything because you have nothing to prove. Unless you want to prove, then you're running behind the bus.
Okay.
So that's where this role thing comes in. I'm a good mother. I'm a nice parent. I'm an effective teacher. I'm a beautiful lady. I'm a smart guy, or I'm a whatever. And then we get into these roles and whatever adjectives and so on and so forth. Do you want to be a good mom, Niharika? Do you want to be a good
you're
mom?
asking me?
Yes.
Should I say? Is it? If I say I want to do my best.
Yeah, that's a different thing totally.
But
aren't you always doing your best? Do you get up and say, I'm going to do my worst now? No.
No.
So why are you saying that? You're anyway always doing your best. If you have a better choice.
Is it that I'm always doing my best?
Yes. Always. I can prove it to you.
In that case, then there's no scope for improvement?
No, there is scope of improvement. Whoever said that? How can best is not the ultimate? Best is only best at that moment. Suppose, just to take a very simplistic example, suppose you bought a detergent. You thought this detergent will wash all the family's clothes very nicely. Now, the next day you came to know that there is a better detergent. Wouldn't you switch to that?
Yeah, I would.
Let's assume theoretically that you found out that there is a better detergent, right? Not from advertising. You found out in whichever way, right, that there is a better detergent. Wouldn't you switch to that? Now, what I'm trying to say is not that you're trying to be your best. You weren't best yesterday. You were best because you had only that choice at that moment. Now, the moment you realize you have a better choice, obviously you switch to that. Now, the next day you realize, a third day you realize that that better choice was 10 times costlier. Now you realize your first choice was actually better because it was better in terms of cost and cost versus the effectiveness. So you go back to it. Now, are you trying to be best every moment? Yes. If at that moment you had a better choice, you will always take that. No doubt about that. Think about it. At all times, we are being best. Just that we are not possibly aware of other choices. The moment we become aware of another choice, you move ahead. Or maybe at that moment you go to a shop, you say masala dosa or set dosa. And you say, okay, I want masala dosa. And then later on you realize, oh, this wasn't a good choice. That didn't mean that at that time you didn't take the best. At that time you felt that was the best. Now after 5 minutes you think the other one was the best. So what? But at that moment you made the best choice. Now also you are thinking in the best way. Isn't all best? Who cares what anybody else thinks? If you want to care about what everybody else thinks, then you are in for trouble. And you want that trouble, it's all yours. which means if you're looking at whether others think of me as a best judge or a best decision maker or a best whatever homemaker or a best father or a mother or a teacher, then good luck. You're going to have a tough time.
So that's where the trouble comes, when you start trying to prove it to others. Then that's where the problem starts.
That's why you start running behind the bus. So Anika, you have to visualize everybody here to be Katrina Kaif running behind the bus, or whoever that actress was. Sorry, I don't remember the actress.
Kareena Kapoor.
Okay, Kareena Kapoor, whatever. Sorry, I'm bad with with actresses and actors.
Ratnesh, I have a question. So now we were talking about proving to others and others, right? So in effect, when we say that we are trying to prove something to ourselves also, is because we have kind of set a standard, or we think that that is what we have to reach or prove to ourselves because we've seen others. We actually don't know what we want. Right? Something like that.
Yes, that's
what
one
do we
way to
have
do
to prove
things.
to ourselves?
Sorry?
What is there to prove to ourselves? Actually, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, see, there are two ways of doing something. I can say that I want to prove myself that I am intelligent, or I can say to myself that I don't need to prove to even myself that I am intelligent, though I will use my intelligence the way it comes to me, and I'll work towards it. So it's a matter of, what do you want? You want to prove it, please go ahead and prove it. You don't want to prove it, so it's a choice. So all I'm doing today is telling you, man, you're a rascal, and you have a choice, either to agree with it, enjoy it, accept it, and then throw it out the window because you are not a rascal, because you are nothing. Or you have a choice to play around with those images, run behind those images. So the choice is yours. Always. Not only you're responsible for your emotions, you're also responsible for who you are. You know, I hear people saying, but that's my nature. I said, oh, really? Were you born like that?
No.
Have you caught yourself saying, that's my nature? Anybody here? Have you said any time to yourself, that's my nature? Give me an example.
When, for instance, my talkative thing, I say it's my nature.
And
more than
there goes Anika.
More than saying it's my nature, I think I also say it comes because of genetics.
Okay, enough. Don't talk so much. And if I say that, you will say, there, see, hence proved that I'm talkative.
Yeah.
But were you born like that? As in the first day after your birth, you were like blah, 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 blah? Nah. As an 8-month-old, as a 2-year-old, were you always blabbering? No. Were you blabbering more than everybody else? No. Come on, you are not talkative. You're still not talkative. It's an image, a belief that we have created for ourselves. And now, every time somebody says, hey, kitna bolti re? Then you say, see, there you go. I am talkative. But that's because we are fueling the data. What about hours together when you are quiet, when you are doing something?
Correct.
What happens then? Which means you aren't talkative. Which means you are talkative, and which is good, meaning everybody talks. Come on. Even the people who do not have the faculty to speak, unfortunately, also talk in different ways. They talk through signs, they talk through pictures, they talk through touch. So everybody is talkative. So what's the big deal about being talkative? So why do we need that belief? Why do we say that's our nature? That's not our nature. That's our belief about ourselves. And a belief which often causes emotions which we can do without if you want to.
Ratnesh, aren't you influencing Anaga at this point of time, telling her that talkative is natural, it's good. So one person is feeling good because somebody is acknowledging the fact that talkative is not bad. So I'm just, yeah, please go ahead.
Oh, no, you finish.
No,
I want to
just,
answer on Ratnesh's behalf.
Sure.
I don't know if I will do justice. But
I have a talkative advocate.
I'm just trying to say that from what I could gather, whether it's positive or whether it's whatever kind of, I mean, we should not be letting anybody else influence what we are.
Why not? Millions. Okay, sorry. Let first Anaga answer that. Sorry.
Yeah, you said that he's trying to influence me, or he's trying to say that, okay, being talkative is not that bad. You don't have to feel that way. Everybody is talkative in some. But yes, in this juncture, you're just catching up on the talkative thing. But in general, we all have these different images, like how Ratnesh has put. And for they're not that all the time, but we only catch hold of these things and then brand ourselves that we are this. And why I'm able to relate to what Ratnesh is saying, especially about this talkative thing, or maybe about being a lot of other things, because from childhood I have been told, oh, Anaga, she never stops talking. Oh, Anaga, that plump girl. Oh, Anaga, that. So only those things which other people have told me is there in my mind. And that has become my nature, like how he said. But when I'm able to think that everybody else is like this, and I am not only like this, and I'm not like this all the time. This is not me exactly like how others are saying. I am more aware. I know that this is not me. And he's not influencing on making me feel good about it. But I am realizing that, no, it is not that I'm talkative all the time. It is not that what others perceive of me is not correct. There are a lot of other things, a lot of layers in me, which I myself don't know how can others make me feel what I am. I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm confusing. But yeah, this is what I am feeling. Like whatever Ratesh told and what Chetan is asking about it.
Sure.
Thanks, Anaga.
Chetan, you want to respond to that?
No, I mean, probably I didn't see the fact that Anaga is taking it in a sense that she's looking at the quiet time she has going through and the talkative time, and somebody else is telling her you're being talkative, and now you are saying that talkative is okay. Probably that's a consolation for her. So that's where I think I got mixed up. So.
Yeah. Also, I'm not trying to say talkative or not. I'm just making her aware that not, first of all, she's not talkative all the time. Plus, everybody's talkative in different ways. And in itself, being talkative or being talkative at a certain time is neither good or bad. It's just something that is true for all of us, which means that there isn't an image, if you want, you don't need to hold on to. That's what I'm trying to say. And yes, it's up to Anaga to see how she wants to take it. And okay, we'll come to complimenting a little later. Not today. We'll come to talk about complimenting maybe next session. So I'll hold on in terms of commenting on that. But my reason to bring out this example was that we tend to brand ourselves in terms of natures or habits and roles. To me, all of these are nothing but images. Even religion. Meaning, as a practice, I can practice whatever religion I can practice. But does the religion need to become my image? I don't know. I'm just questioning it. I'm putting a question mark there. Does my community, caste, country need to become my image? No, I can do good for my community. I can do bad for my community or caste or whatever. So I'm just questioning all of these. Are these really these, or are these just images? Are we one of these, or that just happens to be a piece of data? And we haven't seen the rest of the data. Yeah, more thoughts, questions? Okay, so let me also conclude kind of this whole round of discussion with. So to me, this whole concept of self-esteem is almost like a non-concept. What I mean to say is that if I have a self-esteem, then I think I have a problem. If I don't have self-esteem, as in I don't have an image about myself, then so not having self-esteem is having self-esteem. You know what I mean? So it's like a not having it is like having it. It's like that not having a particular image gives me that peace, that harmony, that inner freedom that I quite enjoy, which is where I say self-esteem is a non-concept. What he said. Not just on this thought, till now, whatever discussion for the past almost 1.5 hours.
Ratnesh, can you probably repeat it? Because I kind of got muddled about the whole thing.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is that a lot of places I have read or heard, or so I'm kind of concluding that on behalf of a lot of people, is that people think of that self-esteem has to be high, or self-esteem has to be those good images I need to have about myself. Now I'm saying, to me, that's a problem, because if I have a good image about myself, to me, that's a problem. I don't know. We haven't discussed that too much. We can discuss it. I would like to discuss it. This whole thing about good image. So to me, if I don't have an image, which means if I don't have self-esteem, that means I have freedom. So which means if I want to redefine self-esteem, I would say self-esteem is the absence of self-esteem, or self-esteem is the absence of self-image, in a way. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's a non-concept, in the sense not having it is peace or freedom. If I'm confusing you, because I want to also the reason I'm talking about it is because that's one way to look at self-esteem. Right? You should have a good self-esteem or a high self-esteem. I say, yo, that's a problem. Then I'm chasing a good image about myself. So why do I need to have self-esteem? Why can't just I be me without any self? Without any self, for that matter. Forget esteem. Why do I have to necessarily respect myself in that sense of the word? Meaning, I don't need to have these labels to respect me. I just need to respect me as me. That's it. Me as nothing. I know if this is confusing, you can leave that aside, or you can keep it and mull over it, or you can ask me a question. Somebody wants to share something? I hear a mic on.
Ratnesh, I just want to bring in the aspect of being carefree, or being non-responsive, or being insensitive to other person's other person's, how should I bring in this? Other person's
thoughts, feelings.
Probably a sincere feedback about you.
So when do you think, Chetan, I would take a feedback? When I have an image that I'm carefree, or when I don't have any image and I'm open to any feedback? In fact, carefree itself is an image. So I'm not talking about us being carefree, not at all. Freedom and carefree is very different. Carefree is an image.
Absolutely.
You know, I am the happy-go-lucky type. Really? No, come on. I'm not a happy-go-lucky guy. At times I'm happy-go-lucky. At times I'm serious. At times I'm damn serious.
Sure.
So when you give a feedback, which I think I should value, I take it seriously, because I value your feedback. Why should that? So nowhere I'm trying to convey that I need to be happy-go-lucky or carefree. No, not at all. I am free doesn't mean that I'm carefree.
Absolutely, yeah. So that, yeah, probably the way we look at the word freedom is what is not actually what freedom is. Freedom is much more than that. It's being open, basically. Yes.
It's being, to me, it's being devoid of any image. To me, images are like prison, and I've made this prison of myself,
Yes.
that I'm beautiful, organized, intelligent, smart, and all that, and I live in that prison now. And if anybody pokes at that prison, I get hurt. So I'm not free because I have to live within that. If somebody says something, I have to behave in that way. Why? Because I have an image to live up to. So I live in the prison because my options are limited, my behavior is limited, my responses are limited, my happiness is limited, my unhappiness is also limited, in a way. So I'm living a limited me, because a limited edition, because I need to be a limited edition. You know what I mean? I need to be that classic person. So I live in what I call as a golden prison, because I need to be whatever, beautiful, smart, handsome, awesome, whatever. But if I leave that prism, if I say I don't need to be any of those, I don't even need to be carefree. I just need to be me, who changes moment to moment, who just behaves very differently every moment. Then I'm actually not bound by anything. That doesn't mean that I need to go out like a joker every day to prove to everybody that I'm silly. No, because I know inherently I would be silly at times and sensible at times. So I don't need to prove anything to anybody.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Yes.
In that sense, I am free.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
More thoughts,
Thanks.
questions? To me, this is so important that I can literally spend as much time on this. There's lots more slides and lots more things we can talk about in this session. And every time we never reach the end of it, which is absolutely fine, because I just don't care. I care less about everything else. I care more about this, because to me, this is fundamental. Because to me, how I see myself starts reflecting on how I see my child, how I want my child to be smart, how I want my child to be intelligent, how I want my child to be beautiful, how I want my child to be disciplined, how I want my child to be whatever. You know what all adjectives you want for your child. And there you go. We are creating these lovely looking prisons for our child and saying, come on, live inside these prisons. You have to adhere to that. You have to live up to that. That's your prison. And why? When I start looking at myself and start saying, hey, I don't need to live up to any of those, then I start liberating the child. And children in plural, as in not just my child, my niece, my neighbor's child, any child, my classroom children, the whole world. And I don't need to look at any child in any which ways. And I can let the child be truly free. That doesn't mean that the child can behave whichever way the child wants to behave. You pointed that out. In itself, it's not about behavior. We'll talk about behavior later. But in any ways, the behavior doesn't define the child. So just because he's behaving irresponsibly at this moment doesn't mean that the child is irresponsible. And if he's behaving responsibly, that doesn't mean that the child is responsible. Either ways. It's just that his or her behavior at that moment is like that. We don't need to define the child as much as we don't need to define ourselves. Obviously, it's a choice. What do you say? You think it's a choice to take a break? Or you want a question or a thought before we take a break? Or maybe after we take a break? What do you say? Come Come on, somebody break the silence. Okay, with both? No, that's okay. Nobody has a question. So I'll take it as, come on, somebody tell me how much time. Let's take a break. Let's come back with some thoughts. Ready to gun me down. Yep. How long you take? You want 30 minutes? Anaga says 30 minutes. So it's 9:48. 13.56. I like that even more. So whatever you calculate, I'm not calculating. It's 9:35 by my watch, and we'll be back in 13:56. Yep. See you soon. Okay, welcome back. Ready for your thoughts, questions, confusions, doubts, opinions, images, everything. Shoot.
My thought is that we are bounded by our own images, which we have made for ourselves. So we are not living with our freedom, what we are actually. And the person, the other who have given images to us, or we are thinking about, we have given some images to us, that we are in that we are bounded too much.
Yeah. And one of the person who is really enjoying this whole process, who is means he's not one person, he's the whole marketing and advertising industry. Those guys are laughing their ways to the bank because they're playing with our images. They want you to be fair, they want you to be lovely, they want you to be smart, they want you to be rich and powerful, and God knows what they want you to be. They are having a real hearty time. They are thoroughly, completely, totally enjoying this.
Yes, it is true, very true.
Ratnesh, when we see somebody who is dressed up very nicely, and we feel nice about it, and we take it back that it would be a good thing to dress up nicely. So I'm just trying to understand, why do we form that image, and that
itself is not an image, Chetan. If you treat me an ice cream, I will like that ice cream, and I'll take it back that Chetan should treat me to more ice creams. But that doesn't make me form an image about either you or me or other ice creams.
Sure, but the image here would be that you try, I mean, you work towards it. You work towards achieving. It may not be a serious achievement here, or it may be an achievement where you caught up in this. You get caught up in trying to buy nice things, and then making yourself presentable. So all those things. So.
See, in as far as it is just wanting to buy something or have a certain material possession, I don't see anything wrong or right about it, meaning that's somebody's choice. If somebody likes a certain brand of shirt or type of clothing or type of car or type of whatever, that's that person's personal choice. The problem starts happening when I start relating myself or projecting that as an image about me, that I'm only smart if I am dressed like that. Yeah. For example, right now, you all see that I'm wearing a nice shirt. I'm adding the nice from my side. Okay, I'm wearing a decent shirt. Let's call it. Okay, why even a decent? I'm wearing a shirt. But how many of you know that I'm wearing shorts below it? And how does it matter? Yeah, it just doesn't matter because you don't see the bottom of me. Or does it really matter? Even if you were to see me in short, how does that matter? In fact, if you come, so again, it's a question of, so some kids laugh at me. Uncle, you're going to session like this? I said, yes. What's the problem? When you can see me in shorts, why can't everybody else see me in shorts? So again, it's a matter of But if let's say, if for some reason I'm not comfortable going in front of people in shorts, isn't that all right? Till it's just my requirement and I fulfill it. That's absolutely fine. If it's my achievement and I fulfill it, that's absolutely fine. But if I start imagining that I'm not good enough if I'm not wearing shorts, then I see a potential problem there. A potential problem because I can run into embarrassing, miserable, all those kind of state of being.
Sure.
Are you getting me? So it's in itself aspiration or getting inspired by somebody or getting even ambitious about something. I don't see anything wrong or right about it. That's a personal choice.
Sure.
But if that starts reflecting on that I am only good enough, worthy enough if I achieve it, then I think I'm only limiting myself. Then I'm only troubling myself. That's my whole point.
Absolutely. Sure.
And more often than not, this doesn't come from self. More often than not, this comes from parents, adults, teachers, advertisers, everybody around me.
Yes.
And imagine if the parent was ready to take care of this, to nullify this effect, then what would the child gain? So while the child is bombarded with these kind of things, messages from, let's say, advertisers, let's assume teachers or people outside, but the parents are ready to say it doesn't matter whether you are seen as good or bad or wrong or right or whatever. So the parents are ready to shoot down the images because the parents themselves don't have images. Only then I think we can shoot down images.
Absolutely right.
Then it doesn't matter because I don't think the world will stop suddenly tomorrow onwards saying anything to your child.
Yes. Yep.
But Ratnesh, I have a question. We are saying, okay, we will try and not have images on ourselves, and we can try and pass that on to our kids, but not passing on. That's where my question is. Like, we cannot stop the world from telling it to our kids, right? So how do we exactly tell the kids not to imbibe that within themselves? Or not to create an image, because I feel most of the images that we've got are what we've got from childhood. Most of them, it's carried on.
Sure.
And it's very difficult for us to break that and kind of accept the way we are.
Why did you say? Moment. Pause. Why did you say it's very difficult? That's your belief. It's very easy, I say.
Yes, I mean, now I realize that it is okay because I have been able to do it. But all through this time, every time I've tried, I'm saying it's over a period of time. Now I've accepted that it's easy and I'm able to do it. But there has been that 10 years or 15 years of my life where it's been very difficult or it's had an impact on me.
Sure.
So these are things which is going to happen with our kids as well. So how do we
Why would it happen with your kid? You are there with him or her right now.
So how are we going to tell them? Or there might be instances where they don't even come and tell us that this is what has happened with them, because obviously children will not come and share everything, or it might just slip off and there might be that small scar or that whatever has happened in their psyche, which might crop up somewhere else. So
you're asking a how recipe?
Yes.
I'll give you many, but not today, not tomorrow, not in the next session, and not in the next session. Maybe after the courses, after the program is over.
Okay.
Now, what I'm trying to say is, in most cases, I don't need to give you a how. Let's not worry about the how so much. Let's first realize what is it that we want to work on. The answers will come to you from yourself. I don't need to tell you how, right? It doesn't make sense for me to think that I can tell you how to do something. No. I'm only saying, hey, let's see where our spotlight is. What is it that we are wanting for our child? Do I want my child to be intelligent, or do I want my child to be whatever he is? I'm using an example of intelligent because that's something a lot of parents want. I want my child to be intelligent. I don't know why, but that's what a lot of parents want. Now, I'm just saying, to me, intelligence is another image. What's the big deal about being intelligent? I see so many super intelligent people living such an horrible life. Horrible life in the sense because they're so tense, they're so intelligent. You know what I mean? I would no. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to say that being dumb is good. I'm just saying being myself is good enough. Why do I have to be intelligent? Now, so the example I'm using is because when I start realizing where I'm coming from, what is it that I really want, then the how part starts happening in many different ways. Yeah. So our way of understanding is that let's understand each of these things. Let's spend time in just understanding it. Let's not worry too much about how. The understanding will at different points in different situations lead to different hows. I think there are as many as millions houses as many images. So let's not worry about that. Does that make any sense? So let's together understand this whole business of images rather than trying to find a recipe, because there is no one recipe, because there are a million recipes, and all the recipes are with you provided that's what you want to cook. So what's more important is, what do I want to cook? Do I want to cook an image, or do I want to cook an imageless, or yeah, an imageless me? So what is it that we want to cook?
Yeah, get it.
In any case, just to kind of just to kind of show you something, I'll show you something at the. I'll tell you a little, whatever, little solution at the end. But let's keep that to little later. Let's talk more. Let's understand this more. So if you guys allow me, I'll kind of move little forward. Though stop me as and when you have a doubt, because as I said, the first part is the thing. The rest all is just supplementary. So I'm moving on to the supplementary stuff, but you come back to this the moment you think that you want more discussion on this. Yeah. Okay. So anybody has something right away to stop me, or shall I just go ahead? So I'll wait for a minute. Or maybe not a minute. I waited 10 seconds. I'm not that patient. No, that's not an image. Okay. So we had sent you this little exercise in the mail. Thinking people whom you respect and love, respect not love, love not respect, no love no respect. I'm not sure how many of you did that, but if you did that, could you get people in all categories, and what does this whole exercise tell you? And if you haven't done it, this is the point to do it, to think about people in each of these 4 categories.
I didn't get anybody in the third category.
Oh, which one is third for you?
That is people I love but may not respect.
Okay.
So, I mean, I had the feeling that if I love somebody, then I would respect that person also.
First of all, that's not a feeling, that's a thought. I'm objecting to that, such a silly usage, but then we tend to use feelings as thoughts and thoughts and feelings, and we confuse everybody. So let's keep feelings and thoughts. It's important because we need to understand feelings and understand our thoughts. Okay, so you're saying you couldn't get anybody, which person that you love but no respect. Can somebody else help Priya get an example of that? Somebody who got somebody in that category. So we're talking about this one. Let me just draw a little circle around it. Yeah, we're talking about this category. Can somebody help Priya get somebody in that category? Or at least you can give your perspective. Others? Did you get somebody in
Yeah,
love, no respect? Yeah, please go ahead.
um, just be straight about it. That's all. My ex-business partner, love him, have no respect for him.
Okay.
I don't want anything bad for him, but I don't look up to him. I don't respect him. So I don't experience a sense of respect when I think about him.
Okay.
But really adore the guy.
Okay. Let's say that's so Priya, maybe you have somebody in your life in a similar way whom you love but not respect. But let's look at more examples, something which maybe Priya can quickly relate. This looks very personal to Prashant, but that's okay. I'm sure many of us can find similar examples. But let's look up more examples of love, no respect.
Spouse.
Okay.
Usually in olden days, husbands used to love the wife, but no respect.
Oh yes, that's a beautiful example. Yeah. Why olden days? I mean, you think those days are gone?
Exactly, I was about to say that.
There is some change. Nowadays, there is some change.
Some change, yeah. There could be change. There could be more respect for the spouse, but yes, in lot of in there are cases where, Priya, do you relate with that, where the spouse may be
Yes,
loved
yes.
but not necessarily respected as a person?
Yes, definitely.
So it's possible. It's possible to have love but no respect. Okay. Anybody else has doubt either with this category or any other category? And also, if you have people in all four category, what does this whole thing means? What is it leading to? But maybe we can come that to in just a minute. Let's before that see if people have whatever people in all categories. So I'm assuming you have everybody in respect and love category. You have people in respect but no love category.
Let me Rekha here.
Yeah, Rekha.
Thinking back, previously I had written that in love and no respect, none that I know of. But thinking back, I guess I do put my children at least sometimes in that category.
Yes.
There are times that, yes, I do love them, but there are times that I haven't respected their thoughts, their feelings.
Oh yes. I'm glad you brought this up. It's so common.
Yeah, true.
You remind me of a father who wrote to me after I had written an article that I there was something going on and my child did this and I got really angry with him and I slapped him. And then I took my child and he started crying obviously, and I took my child and put him in my lap and I told him, "Beta, I love you and I slapped you because whatever blah 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 blah, blah you did this," and so on, and I cuddled him and I made him calm and feel better. So he says, "What do you think about it?" And I said, "Oh, that's you love your child, but you don't respect him." Precisely. So what you say, Rekha, is absolutely true. A lot of us, a lot of times, we love our children or we love children in general, but we don't respect them. We kind of actually disrespect them in many different ways. Okay. Everybody has somebody in respect and no love category. Is that one clear?
Boss.
I like that. Did everybody get that? Why don't you type that in the chat window also? Okay, great. So, our boss could be there, or so many people could be there. I don't have to love, let's say, Abdul Kalam Azad. I respect him a lot, but I don't have to necessarily love him. Yeah. So there could be so many people in that category. Okay. So, well, why are we doing this? What is this telling us? That okay, we could be respecting some, loving some, not respecting some. So what does this mean? Yeah. What does this mean? Any thoughts? Oh yes, Bhavna, can I get you on mic? Can you talk a little more? That's very interesting. So yes, just one moment. Yes, while these could be feelings, though I still think they are more actions than feelings. Yes, but they could be also feelings, feeling of respect and feeling of love. But let's hear what Bhavna has to share. Yeah, Bhavna.
I always thought of only the first and the second. First, and I always connected love to respect. I never thought it was possible to love somebody and not respect somebody. And okay, no love, no respect is the only aspect I can think of as strangers. When any stranger who. So love and no respect. Yes, when somebody in the session told that children, yes, and individual immediately I gave my own I didn't want to be guilty. I just want to defend myself. I said maybe I'm doing it for their good. For example, they have to eat healthy food, for example. So the child asked for Maggie, then I say okay, no, it's not healthy. So these are the individual small things. These are just small things which can be overlooked. But when it comes to as they grow older, there's so many things which we take decisions for them.
Sure.
And we don't train them to take decisions. I mean, exactly, that's what. Or allow them the opportunity to take decisions,
So when you say there are two individual things, what does that mean to all of us?
They need not be connected. I mean, respect and love are two different entities. And I cannot think of anything else other than this.
Sure. And what you're saying is a big thing, because in my experience, a lot of us, including at some point of time, me myself, confuse one with the other.
Yeah. I'm even now confused. I'm not able to distinguish between them. I feel when you love somebody, or when
I'll give you an example, sure. and I'll give you the example how I got my enlightenment. So this was about a year of working with children. So year must be around year 2000, and I just spent about a year working with children. And there was this mother who came to pick her child, she was talking to me, and she asked me this question: that Ratnesh, how come you work with children? Somehow surprised that a man is working with children. Images. Anyway, so she asked, how come you work with children? And I kind of gave a very convenient answer, because this question I'm asked so many times. So I had a very convenient answer. I'd say, oh, because I love children. And usually this answer will satisfy everybody. Yeah, he loves children, as if everybody else doesn't love children. But anyway, so I gave that answer. I love children, and she was very happy with that answer. I'm saying she was very happy by the look on her face. And then right at that moment, her daughter tugged her sari's pallu, and said, "Mama, let's go." And suddenly she turned and snapped on her child, and she said, "Don't you see that I'm talking to uncle? How many times I've told you, when I'm talking to elders, you should not, whatever." I'm not really remembering her words, but this is what, in essence, she spoke. And at that moment, when she was doing that to her daughter, it dawned to me that no, it's not just because I love children. Yes, I love children, but perhaps more importantly, I respect them. I respect them as I think uh, Bhavna was just sharing. Um, I respect them for their feelings. I respect for them for their needs. I start thinking if I was in the mother's place, I could have, or the mother could have said, "Oh dear, you must be feeling hungry, or you must be tired after a 3 hour session, or you must be really wanting to go home. I'll hurry up with uncle." Any of those things. She could have acknowledged her feelings, her needs, her wants, her choices, but nothing was respected. What was more important to the mother was whatever, her thought. But that's okay. We'll come to how mother can fulfill her needs of the child being well behaved. She can always talk to her in the evening, night, whatever. So I'm just saying this small incident brought out with a lot of clarity that children need love. Yes, they need love, but children also need respect. Yes, they need respect as much as they need love. I kind of say 50-50. They need love, they need respect. As much as, Chetan, I need love and I need respect. If I'm not respected, then there is something that goes on. Meaning, I'm saying I can rise above love, and I can, sorry, you can argue that you can rise above respect. And that way I can rise above love also. But that's the difference. I don't know if this example was enough for you. Yeah.
Thanks, but I would like to take it back and try to understand it for myself, because I
please.
always link, or I always think that understanding somebody completely is part of love. That's when you love somebody, pay attention to somebody. So that's all attributes of love, if I may. So that's where it becomes murky when we separate it out, respecting somebody, not loving, or loving somebody, not respecting. So that's maybe I'll hold on to the question and try to.
No, so are you trying to say only when I love somebody, I necessarily respect that person? Only then I really love.
I mean, respect is a part of love.
So that's exactly what I mean. You're saying that respect is a part of love, and if respect is not there, love is not there.
That's what I'm trying. That's what my understanding is. Yes.
Yeah, which is where I would say all these examples that others were giving show that I can love but not respect somebody. And the other examples we are collecting just to first understand the difference between the two.
Sure.
I'll give you an example. Let's say a very different kind of it. Let's say my brother goes ahead and does a murder. I may still love him, but I may not respect him so much now as an individual. Love to meaning so yeah, I mean, again, these are all examples. Why are we differentiating? I'm telling you why I'm differentiating. You may say it's a part of it. I'm okay with that. I'm not trying, but to me, it's important to understand both of them individually, just like how Bhavna put it, because that helps me to ensure that I'm feeding or I'm giving both to the child or to anybody else or to myself. People love themselves and not respect, or people respect themselves and not love. So I'm giving both, and this balance, or if I may put it, they are like two sides of the coin. They need to go together. If I'm only doing one and not the other, then there's something that is not happening perfectly. So if you want to say it should be 100% love, 100% respect, because I think respect is part of love, and if you consciously anyway thinking about both the things, then it doesn't matter what you call them. Finally, these are just words.
Now I understand, Ratnesh. From what I see, that we often mask one aspect of love to another aspect. So we don't really, give, or we don't really realize the importance of respect in that relationship of love. So yes,
it's almost like in the name of love, people end up being disrespectful.
Yes, absolutely right. Yes.
And that is what I want to bring about. Meaning not to get into a discussion whether one is a part of other. They're obviously very linked together.
Sure. Got it. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Anybody else? Or if you allow, I can kind of little move forward. And if you have a question, you can come back.
Ratnesh, I have a question.
Yeah, Dipali.
There is, I have come across people when we were brought up to respect and love people, and we go about consideration for others' feelings, and we go about doing all these things on a daily basis. But there is a group of people who will tell you that, pyar mein no sorry, no thank you. I'm conflicted in these situations when I'm with friends and there is rash, there is.
Sorry, your voice is breaking for me. Is it clear to others? I'm losing Dipali. Others, are you able to hear me or Dipali?
Yeah, I think so. But Chetan, please go ahead. You were about to say something.
I was just about to say that the previous session before the break we had about somebody or other people influencing us. Does it fall under that, Dipali, that somebody else, because of their actions, is influencing us?
Sorry, I think I lost connection and lost Dipali's thought. Dipali, can you quickly reshare, please?
Yeah, Ratnesh, in the context of working among youngsters and people in general, I find groups of people who believe that pyar mein no sorry, no thank you. I love you that much, or I'm so familiar with you that I can do what I want with you. You don't need to feel bad. You can always do the same back to me. I find it conflicting because I was brought up in a different way, and I kind of feel that it hurts me to see people do this to themselves. But at the same time, they seem happy and okay with it. So I don't know, is that okay? I mean, I'm very confused about that situation, because see people getting along like that, being rude with each other, I don't know, but it's rude and so loud that sometimes I feel, and with children around, that it becomes very blurred. The lines are so blurred. You can't. You can't tell adults what to do, but then some people believe that it's okay to be who I am with you. You can be who you are with me. That's okay. So I'll shout at you, you shout at me. That's fine. This is love. So what is your take on that?
Well, I'm not sure if I have a take on that. That's a personal choice. If people are okay with being disrespectful to each other and they are able to let's call it rise above that and say it doesn't matter, I don't need to be respected to live my life, and that's absolutely fine with me. I mean, why shouldn't people be able to do that way? But if they're actually able to do that, I mean, if they're just saying it for the sake of saying it, that's okay, or justifying themselves, that's okay. But if they're actually able to do that, great. Meaning, what's so wrong or right about it? But in general, when we are looking at especially children, I would tend to go by that they need both.
So the argument is, while you're being very
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I being told that you're being like, when I put up a point and say this is not right and we shouldn't be, I don't think it's good for the children to be exposed to this. The argument is that the world is like that. Let them get used to it. Let them deal with it. It could be, it's even happening in the family circle sometimes. So it becomes very difficult to put your foot down and say this is right or this is wrong, because then you become this, I don't want a rule person, but then how do you manage it when the world can be different from what you are or what you want for your children?
The world would be. So I would say, yeah, that's fine. Again, to me, it's a personal choice. And we will come a little later to talk about how we, not really how, but to understand what happens when different people do different things. And what is it that we really want in those situations. So just stay put for the next, whatever, I would say 3 sessions in or maybe 4 sessions all together. right? Without really, I don't expect solutions from me, but what you can expect is little better understanding or little different understanding of what is going on, and why somebody doing like this can actually be good for us, for the child, and we'll try and understand how that works. Yeah, so we'll just hold on with that and with the how part, without really getting into the how part. Yeah,
sure.
But yeah, meaning all things happen. That and all kinds of people are there. And again, I'm not trying to say my way of looking is better than the other. I'm just trying to see, hey, do I first understand both of these entities, one called love and one called respect? Then if I discard respect, absolutely fine. I can discard love also, and absolutely fine. I can say I'm above love and respect. If nobody loves me, if nobody respects me, it doesn't matter to me, and I can be absolutely fine with it. Right. So again, by itself, I'm not trying to say that everybody has to be loved and everybody has to be respected. I'm just saying let's understand them as two entities, two separate entities. Now, what do you do with it? Your choice. Okay. In the same vein, I want to look at something very, very commonly used. When I ask a lot of people what is self-esteem, a lot of time people answer by saying self-esteem is self-confidence. I don't know if you would have answered that way. But let's understand this whole business of confidence. Now, I've used the term high and low just to kind of play around with words. What I really mean is it's possible to have high confidence and and self-esteem, and not have self-esteem and have low confidence, or whichever way you want to take it. But is it possible? Is confidence same as self-esteem, or is it different? What do you say? Yeah, somebody? Or maybe we can start with examples of when you can have high confidence and so on. So we have two situations. So let's see if we can have examples of both of them. Yep, somebody wanted to speak. I heard a mic unmute.
Ratnesh, I was just trying to think of it as confidence is when you feel like doing it, when you feel like you're not afraid to do it. Mm-hmm. Self-esteem is when you want to hold on to something without being open to it, without being open. That's where I can.
Okay. So do you think it is both these possible? One of them is possible, none of them is possible?
And I think they're two mutually different things, self-confidence and self-esteem. I don't think we can, there's no relation between them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I would differ. I think if you have good confidence, if you have high confidence, you would have a self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm confident, I would have better self-esteem. I don't know if it's the other way around. I'm confused. But I think they're dependent on each other. I think they depend on each other.
Okay. More people, thoughts on confidence. Do you relate confidence with self-esteem? Not necessarily now, maybe before this session. What were your thoughts about confidence? Do you think that's an important thing? How does it relate to self-esteem? Do you think it's possible to have high confidence, low self-esteem, or low confidence, high self-esteem?
I feel it is. I think it is possible to have high confidence and have low self-esteem.
Give me an example.
Say, For instance,
Okay, you
I'll
yeah,
just think about it. I'll come
sure.
back.
But you think both are possible?
I'm not sure about the second one, low confidence and high self-esteem, but high confidence and low self-esteem, yes, because I think I have faced it, is what I feel.
When you say
But
you
I'm not
faced
able
it,
to.
can you share it?
I
In
mean,
what
I
way have you?
feel, yeah, that is what I'm not. It's not coming. I'm not able to frame it, or I know I have. In some part of my life, I have faced that, but
Okay.
it's not coming to my mind. So just give me a couple of minutes, and I'll come back to you.
Okay. Sure, sure. Others?
So for me, hello.
Yeah, Prashant.
Hi. For me, by and large, confidence and self-esteem are correlated by and large. But I can definitely think of instances where I'm in either ends. So while I have a really good opinion about myself, I'm not very confident in breaking ice with a new person, so to speak. I cannot just go and open a conversation with a new person. So there I lack a confidence, but I have a good self-esteem.
And have you seen an
Other
example the other
extreme,
way
there
around?
are
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So on the other extreme, I can think of a concrete example. When I went and met a CEO of a company in France for the very first time, I was low on self-esteem because business was down. We were not going anywhere. But I was pretty high on confidence in terms of being able to sell a business to him. And so that extreme also happened. A low self-opinion, but then action-wise, I'm high on confidence. And by and large, self-esteem and confidence seem to go hand in hand in a bulk of cases. If self-esteem is defined as self-esteem before the session.
No, yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Self-esteem is defined.
So I
however.
wouldn't go to France. Yeah, I wouldn't go lab nothing, but yeah, like that. Yeah.
Anybody else? Come on, thoughts about confidence. What is this thing about confidence? All of us use this word. It is such a common term. And have you kind of stopped and thought, what is this? What is this thing called confidence?
Confidence is something, again, it's a belief that we have that, okay, we can do, come what may, I will be able to achieve what I want to achieve, or I will be able to do what I want to do.
Okay, so what does that mean? It's a belief. Self-esteem we believe है, self-confidence belief है. Why are we even talking about them? Yeah, so what does it mean? What does it mean? So by your definition, I could be, as Prashant gave an example, I could be feeling at something high confidence, at certain things low confidence, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so how is it related to self-esteem? How's that got related to me? I feel low about something, high about something. That's it.
Ratnesh, here I feel is confidence. I feel is what you think about yourself, right? Your belief. And self-esteem too is somewhere related to what you think about yourself. So now I'm confused on this particular sentence. When I say high confidence with low self-esteem, when I think about myself and I'm confident about myself, then the self-esteem too is equally the same.
So right now, are you confident or are you confused?
I'm a little confused, like how can
so are you confident or confused? Tell me quickly. And are you sure that you are confused?
No, I don't think so. Now,
are you sure you are confused? Are you confident that you are confused?
Suddenly you're confusing me more.
Yes, so now you can be confidently confused. Come on, she's confident that she's confused.
More like confused about her confidence. You know, when I
yeah,
looked
exactly.
at her,
She's confused about confidence, but she's confident that she's confused.
Way of words.
You want to take my opinion? I think confidence is a useless concept. It has got nothing to do with self-esteem. It's got nothing to do with anybody or anything. It's a completely useless concept. I don't even know who coined it. I want to find that person and take it out of his thing and throw it away. What do you say? You see, interestingly, all the things I have achieved in my life, and possibly you have achieved in my life, you started with completely not being confident about it. Isn't it?
Yeah.
When the starting point. And then you went through a roller coaster. At times you were confident, at times you were not confident, at times you were confident. Morning you were confident, afternoon you were not confident, then evening you got confident again. And it's been one roller coaster night, right, for you of confidence. Such a useless thing. It keeps changing every now and then. Who cares about it? To hell with it. You know, it is such a useless concept that I ended up writing 11 articles why it is a useless concept. But isn't it useless? You know, cricket team loses, Indian cricket team low on confidence. Cricket team next day wins, Indian team high on confidence. Oh, yo, what do you mean? Is this how teams work? Is this how what are we talking about? I think it's just a good media term. Sensationalize.
True.
I mean, have you done good only when you have been confident? Can you list out 100,000 incidences when you have done well without being confident? And if yes, then what the hell is this confident? And who cares about it?
True.
So should we say RIP for confidence? Yeah, please. Yes. Disagree, please, with me. Go ahead. Sorry, who was it?
Hi.
Wait, Chetan. Somebody else before you. So I'll just.
Yeah,
I stopped somebody. So I'm just. Whom did I stop?
So I was just trying
Niharika.
to say. So it's just a concept, right? So I'm just thinking. So what? I mean, how is it affecting us?
Oh, it is
Having
affecting.
this concept of
It's a horrible image.
how?
It's an image that everybody wants, which is a useless image. Everybody wants a confident child. Believe me, Niharika, if you were me, you would have got sick of this concept. For 16 years, I've sat behind a desk when every other parent, so 90% of the parents walking into my center when I was in Bangalore, not 16 years, 14 years, 13 years, okay. 13 years I've sat behind a desk when people come in, parents, and 90% of them want their child to be confident. Ayyo. Why do they want this? I'm sick of it. And you'll be with me if you sat there and heard a parent after parent after parent after parent want their child to be confident. I said, you've got nothing else? Look at him. You know, the way he kicks that other boy, he's so confident. Isn't it? You see, it is such a useless concept. The way he bullies, wow, he bullies it so confidently. The way he manipulates you, the daddy, he's so confident. I can give hundreds and millions of examples of each child being confident. And the parents will still not agree with me. That is why I think it's a useless concept. That is why I want to, shout from the top of my roof that take this concept down. Because there's so many marketing people selling this. Just because they know parents want it real badly. And I'm questioning it. Is that what children really need? Is there something else that they need? Meaning only when you question that, is this something my child needs, you will start thinking what else he needs.
So I just have one more question. Why did we discuss the previous slide about respect and love?
Why did we discuss it? Good.
In the sense, so the previous slide was more about self-esteem and what is self-esteem. And we were talking about self-image, right? So I'm just trying to relate to the
so
discussion.
okay, so I'm also trying, so once we have discussed or understood to some extent what could be image, no image, and self-esteem, blah blah blah, I'm also trying to distinguish this concept from some other concepts, trying to see that we don't confuse love, we don't confuse respect, we don't confuse confidence and images. All these are different entities. And just to give more clarity, sometimes to understand something, you have to also understand things that you confuse it with, that you mix up. So that's what we are trying to do. And even that whole process, I'm confusing you more, then I'm confident that you will be confused about it. And that's the whole point. Once you're confused, you will try to come out of that confusion, and hopefully, whatever, you will get clear about it in your own way.
Yeah, it's kind of little clearer because this confidence thing, it's one of those images that we try to have. So now it's kind of making little sense to me.
Yeah, and also Niharika, workshop after workshop, when I used to ask people initial 10 years, I used to ask people, what is self-esteem? Almost the first or the second response would be self-confidence. I said, oh, oops. Because self-confidence can change in 1 second, but my images don't change, typically don't change. People don't lose or gain images in 1 second. But yes, I can think that I'm a great driver, and I take the car out of my garage and I bump it into my own wall, and my confidence is low, and I say to my friend, yeah, today you drive, yeah, I don't feel like driving, man. Why? Because I'm feeling low on confidence. Then obviously the confidence comes back after 2 days or 1 day, or maybe after that. I don't know.
Ratnesh,
Yep.
Shayu here.
Yeah, Shayu.
So, if I'm understanding this, confidence is more. This is a question. Confidence is more related to one's ability to do something, whereas self-esteem is deeper related to one's image of what one is. That one way of differentiating as.
Period. Full stop. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I don't know, we should call it deeper, but yeah, it's definitely a different thing. While yes, confidence something just keeps changing now and then. And it also depends on what we are doing. As you very rightly said, it's to do with the ability. If I gave you 3 glasses and made out of glass and said, do juggling, I'm sure you will not be very confident about it. Most of us. But that doesn't say anything about us.
Ritesh, doesn't confidence comes from having a clarity?
Okay, so what I would like to do is, sorry, I know this confidence is such a beautiful topic. So I want to pause the discussion here because I also want to cover a couple of things, yeah, and not just talk about confidence. And I would, since possibly this is something that I'm pushing you to relook at. As I said, it's such a given concept that nobody really bothers about. And somebody says we need to be confident, everybody says yeah. So I want you to just question it for some days and then come back to me and see what you think about that. Do you agree, disagree, mildly disagree, mostly disagree, whatever. So I want you to disagree and see what understanding you get out of this. Observe yourself, observe others, observe children, and let's see what it means. Yeah. So unfortunately, I don't have 3 more hours to discuss confidence, but we can discuss it more offline. We can create a beautiful discussion on it. Is that okay, Chetan? Because I have what 15 minutes, and I want to at least cover a couple of things.
Sure, no problem at all.
Sure. Okay. What all do I cover? So I'm choosing because I've got a list of things that I can cover. Give me a moment. Okay. Yeah, I want to tell a little. I want to tell you that you have, or rather, let's say, if somebody very reliable. So let me not say me because I'm not very reliable. But if somebody very, very reliable, super reliable, told you that you have, gold buried in your backyard, assuming you have a black backyard, so what would you do? Yeah, can somebody come on the mic? What would you do? Somebody very reliable said that there is gold buried in your backyard. Now, what will you do? Or maybe you can respond in the chat window. I think that's okay. Respond in the chat window so I can take multiple responses. Okay, Meghna says go and dig. Okay, Chetan is going to think, why do I need gold? But Meghna and Priya are going to dig. Okay, so I'll stay with Meghna, Priya, and Niharika and say, okay, dig. Okay, and why are you digging? Okay, come on. Why are you digging? Okay, let somebody come on mic. Okay, who wants to come? Somebody. Meghna, want to come on mic? Since you were the first one to go digging. Or somebody else? Whoever wants to come on mic.
Yeah. Yeah, Ratnesh.
Yeah. So why would you dig?
Because some reliable person told me that there's gold.
Yeah, but why will you dig?
Because I look upon gold as something precious.
So you want gold?
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, so that's good enough reason. Say I want gold, that's why I will dig.
Yeah, I want gold, so I won't dig.
Cool. Okay, and when you start digging, what will happen initially?
Initially, I'll hit rocks and I mean, there'll be a lot of obstacles.
Yeah, muds and rocks and all. And what will you do with them? Yeah, sorry, I kind of lost you. So
yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I can also hear you. Good. So I was asking, when you hit those mud and rocks, and what will you do with them?
I'll take them out and throw them, keep them aside. Like
why are you throwing them?
Because I'm looking for gold.
Ah, you're looking for gold. Okay, point note kiya jaye. So as you dig, you get more mud, muck, rocks, stones, more and more of that. What will you do?
I'll start throwing it away.
And as you dig more, you're still getting mud and muck and all of that. What would you do?
I'll again throw it away.
And you'll continue digging?
Yeah, I would continue.
Why?
Because a reliable person told me.
So, but why are you continuously digging?
Because I'm looking out for gold. I mean, I'm not hitting what I initially started looking out for. So I continue doing it till I come across that.
And you get real stinky, yucky, mucky stuff.
Okay.
What do you do? I mean, you still know that the gold is there. You know that almost pakka, but you are on the way getting all kind of stinky, really mucky stuff.
Okay, then I would consider for a minute.
Whether I thought you were really looking for gold.
Hmm.
So till when will you keep digging?
at one point of time, maybe my confidence will then
No,
start
let's
wavering.
assume that reliability is 100%, guaranteed.
Okay.
So even if a lot of yucky mucky things comes, will you keep digging, or will you say no, too much muck is coming?
No, I think I'll still continue.
Till you find gold?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you want gold?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Well, I like it. I like this whole persistence. And we're persistent because we want gold. Okay, so thanks, Meghna, for digging along with me. So to me, this whole little analogy of digging for gold is important, because when we work with children, our children, others' children, whichever children, even adults actually, but let's keep adults aside for now. So when we work with children, we hit a lot of mud and muck. We hit a lot of hard rocks. We hit a lot of imperfections. We hit a lot of weaknesses. Now the problem is, a lot of us, instead of digging for gold, start worrying about the mud and muck and get so engaged with it that they keep running and they keep coming and running to us and say, my child can't do this. Can you fix him? My child can't do this. Can you fix him? My child can't do this. Can you fix him or her? You know what I'm talking about. Somewhere we get too caught up with all the mud and muck we are made up of. Anybody here not made up of mud and muck, has only gold inside? Please raise your hand. There's a provision in Zoom to raise your hand. So if you think you're not made up of any mud and muck, only pure gold, raise your hand. Otherwise, in most cases, when we work with anybody, including ourselves, especially our children, we find imperfections, find weaknesses, we find mud and muck, hard rocks. Now you decide what you want to focus on. You want to focus on the mud or muck? You want to focus on the gold. What are you digging for? So many parents, in my experience, come to me and say, hey, this is not okay with my child. And I tell them, hey, what will you sharpen in a knife? The sharp edge or the blunt edge? A knife has two kinds of edges, the sharper side and the, let's say, not sharp side or the blunt side. And I keep asking parents, which side will you sharpen? And that's what I'm asking you. Are we caught up sharpening the blunt side? Looking for a perfect child, the perfect image, the perfect child who speaks perfectly, reads perfectly, wins trophies in sports, and is what? Is a super all-rounder. Are we looking for a perfect somebody, or are we digging for gold? And is there a guaranteed gold in each one of us? What's your belief? What's your confidence? You decide. Your thoughts?
Ratnesh, I just want to bring in the aspect of the reliable source here. So are we okay with the muck and yak because it's from a reliable source? Since it's going to be an experiment, and then we're not sure about what it's going to be. That's.
Are you saying you don't know which is mud and muck and which is gold?
No, I'm not saying. What I'm saying is, we kept on digging because it was from a reliable source.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the source was wavered or if it was not reliable, would we still go ahead and do the digging, face the muck and yak?
So you have to decide, do you believe that your child, or any child for that matter, or any human being for that matter, has a pot of gold inside him or her? That's for you to decide. If you think there is a pot of gold, then you dig. If obviously you don't believe, you will not even bother. So it's for you to decide. Why talk about the whole world?
Absolutely.
Let's just keep it to our children, and our children could include children whom we are parents, or whom we are responsible adults like teachers or relatives or whomever you work with in whichever role or manner. If you believe that the child has a pot of gold, then you will dig for that pot of gold rather than digging for all the, or worrying, let's say, or getting caught up in all the imperfections. Because when I look into the mirror, I see 50-50. I see 50% of me as mud and muck, as the rascal I was talking about, and 50% of me as the gold that I don't know, I wasn't talking about, but I think there is some gold there. So as much as I believe that I'm fine, I'm believing everybody else is also fine.
That's where I wanted to bring that reliable source has to be you yourself, not
absolutely. Yeah. That was just to play around
sure,
an analogy.
sure.
The reliable source is you, and the reliable
Yeah.
source is not a source, but it's not an information. It's a belief.
It's a belief. Yes, exactly, absolutely true.
Sure. Thanks. Okay, let me do one more very quick, small activity. What I want you to quickly do is do this, okay? No need to read all the text on the slide. Just draw a dot in the middle of your left palm. Just follow my instructions so that we can do it fast. Just draw a dot with a pen or something in the middle of your palm. And then try to touch that dot with each finger of your left hand. So the dot is on the middle of the left palm, and you're trying to touch that dot with each finger of your left palm. And if you've done that, try different dots on different parts of your palm, and then you can try it on the right hand also. So just explore both your hands, different points. You don't even need to draw the dots now. You can just see the dot and try and see what is happening here. And if you've explored enough, and if you think this little hand of yours is giving you some message, please don't tell me what is happening, but tell me what message, what does this mean to you? What is your hand telling you? I'm not telling you, your hand is telling you something, or both your hands and all your fingers is telling you many things. What are some of those things? Can some of you come on mic and please share? What do we get from our hand?
That we try so hard to make all the fingers point towards the same.
So what
dot.
does this mean?
That we standardize it or we generalize it instead of individualize it.
Okay, standardize versus individualize. Okay, I'll put that down. More thoughts? Quick thoughts, please.
This is Rashi.
Yeah,
It's
Rashi.
okay. All fingers cannot touch the dot.
Okay, so what does that mean? Sorry, can you interpret that? Yeah.
Okay, so different fingers, different strengths, different abilities, different skills, and they don't have to be the same.
Okay, so I'm saying we're all with different strengths, abilities, skills. We don't need to be same.
Yeah.
Okay. More thoughts? I obviously want the interpretations, the analogies. So Anshu, when you say each finger its own direction, what does it mean to you? What is this telling you?
All fingers are not equal or not same. They have different capabilities.
Okay. What does this mean?
Means capacity of doing work have different person have different abilities.
Okay, so what does that mean?
We should not keep on a same line, on a same pace or a same scale. Everybody have a different potential or have their own power or capabilities.
Great, thank you. So you can use the same hand to slap yourself. Please go ahead and slap yourself in the same fingers. I mean it. Please slap yourself nicely. The same fingers are slapping you because the same fingers are reminding you, yes, we are all different, we are all unique, we don't all need to reach the same place, same direction, same sun, we don't need to be same. Because to me, the single most, you can say, common way in which we build images is by comparison. As you said, we put people on scale and then we measure them. He's better than her, she's better than him, he's first, he's second, he's smart, he's smarter, he's dumb, he's dumber, and so on. The most common way we make children aware of their own images, not even aware of, we build images into children, is by comparing. So the next time you catch yourself comparing, use the same fingers to slap yourself and remind you that each finger is different. It reaches different places. It has different characteristics. It has different strengths, abilities, skills, blah, blah, blah. Each one is an individual. Yep. And if you allow me 2-3 more minutes, exactly 3 more minutes, I want to end this session with a small demonstration. And this demonstration is important. By itself, not important, meaning is one of the million ways in which you can communicate to children this whole concept, whatever we have been talking about, this whole concept of being a rascal. Some of you would be familiar with this demonstration. Why I'm showing you also this demonstration is because I want you to show it to children, as many children as possible. Yeah, because I think it is powerful. At least I think it is powerful. Yeah. So if you have seen this, play with me, play along with me. If you haven't seen this, respond to me. Right. I'll be using a 100-rupee note, and sometimes some people object to it because it has images of Gandhiji and so on. But please realize I'm doing it with nothing meant for the visuals on the 100-rupee notes. Okay, so what I have is a 100-rupee note. All of you can see that. Yeah. And I'm giving it free. Who wants it free? So if you want it, say I want it or want. If you want this 100 rupees, I'm giving it away free. It's a valuable change nowadays. And I'm giving away with no strings attached. Do you want it? Who wants it? Please type in the chat window. Whoever wants it, type it, want it. If you just say yes, I don't know which yes you're responding. Say I want it or want it. Okay, so many people want it. Oh my goodness. Okay, now just watch the video camera. I'm crushing it. I've totally crushed it. It's become a small little ball, as you can see. Yeah. Do you still want it? Who all still want it? Say want it. Okay, I've got Anaga, Prashant, Meghna, Rashi, Nyarika still wanting it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to spit on it, and I'm actually going to spit on it. Okay, you may not be able to see the spit, but please believe me, I'm spitting on it. So I've spit it on it about 4 times, right? Who still wants it, right? Still want it in the chat window, please. Prashant says, I want it. Just write still want it. Chetan still wants it. Rashi still wants it. Okay, now I'm going to do something else. Okay, Anshu still wants it. I'm going to actually, I can't show you this in the video camera, but I put it under my feet and I'm stamping on it very hard. And I've rubbed it on the floor. So it's full of dirt and I've stamped on it nicely. Still want it? Rashi says still, Chetan says still, Prashant says still. Why do you still want it?
Doesn't affect the value of the currency or the note.
So that's the demonstration I show to children. And that's the same thing they say. They still want it because it's still 100 rupees note. And that's what I tell them. That see, the world will treat you like this. The world will crush you. The world will spit on you. The world will stamp on you. The world may throw you in the dust. But no matter what the world does to you, says to you, your value is inside you. It remains the same. People do not change your value. Your value has got nothing to do with what people do to you. Good night.
I really love the way you closed the sessions. Good night and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good night, Ratnesh. Loved it.